Hey guys, so today we're going to be taking a look at this Galaxy S7 Lite. So this is a 8.7-inch tablet from Samsung. This is going to be a pretty basic review. I'm going to go pretty quick through it. The screen on this is actually really decent for being a 800, or it's like a 720 by whatever. I think it's actually 800 by something. I don't remember the dimension exactly, but it says 16 by 10, I think, for the ratio. You can see in the video here what it looks like. But the screen upscales to 1080, which looks really nice. I mean, if I didn't, maybe I'm old, maybe I just can't tell like I used to. It looks good. I mean, the pixel density is high enough to where, and again, I'm getting older, like I have to get pretty close to start seeing pixels. Like from where I'm sitting, I can't see any pixels, and it looks pretty clear. So that's a kind of low. My cell phone's like 1080, whatever, it's 2040 by whatever, something like that. So it's got a pretty high density, and it's not a huge screen like that. Or not that this is huge, but you get what I mean for going from 1080 on a, I think I have a 6-inch screen, something like that, and a 16 by 10 ratio for my phone, and I couldn't tell you which one had higher pixel density from 3 feet away. So I gotta be pretty close to it. So from sitting distance where I'd be sitting and typing, I can't tell. So I was pretty impressed by that. The video quality looks good. And I have the brightness turned to 0 right now. I'm gonna aim it more direct at the camera. This is it's not a high-speed panel or anything. It's 60 hertz, but it's very smooth. It's got like really low ghosting or something. I don't know how to explain it. It's good. I guess Samsung, they make good panels. Decent ones at least, even on the cheap entry level things like this. And I got this, by accident. I went in to get a phone replaced, and the guy at the counter was like, "Hey, you're eligible for a free tablet today." And I was like, "Okay." I'm like, "Well, I don't believe in free." I'm like, "What's the difference in price out the door if I take it with me today?" And it was like $18 difference, and I was like, okay, yeah, like throw it in the bag. So I always kind of wanted to get a tablet, but I wasn't convinced enough to spend money on one. I just thought it'd be fun, so that's how I got this. But I've actually been using quite a lot. I'm using it at work when I have downtime, which is slow season, so it's been a lot of that. I'll mess around with this, and the screen. Like I said, the screen. I want to say I enjoy watching the screen on this better than my laptop, which is a 1080 on a 15.6-inch display. And of course, my laptop's a better performing machine, but the screen isn't amazing. It's like an IPS, but this screen I think is IPS also. It's not a special screen. It just something about, maybe it's a gloss display or something. It's just nice to look at. Anyway, and I don't know if I mentioned already that the brightness is on like all the way down right now for the video, or almost all the way down. If I go to 0 brightness, I'll turn up the exposure a little bit. You can so clearly see that the color, even, I mean, it's super dim for me. Like I said, I just bumped the exposure. It's super dim for me, but the colors are still vibrant. So it's great for just chilling in low light, like at night, like now I'm about to go to bed. And maybe I want to watch some videos while I pass out. This is a great device for that. And the battery life's crazy. Like, I've been running it for hours today, off charge, off the charger. And I am at 67%, and I kind of paid attention over the last 2 hours. I've used about 17%. So I went from, 10%. I went from 77% to 67%. in the last hour or two, or no, almost 2 hours. Yeah, almost 2 hours ago. 10% over 2 hours. And I had the brightness, maybe it's 10%, which is plenty at nighttime. Like I was saying, that's perfect for when you're just chilling in the dim lit room. You could run this thing all night, I'm sure. We'll plug it in the charger at nighttime, but yeah, it's a good all day. Good all day battery life. Unless you're like highly abusing it. It's not a powerhouse, so you could get away with some really simple games, which I've done. Like that game, The Wolf. That is a 3D game. Like open world. And the frame rate was okay. I had to put it like low settings on everything, and it's not a powerhouse. I think it's 3 gigabytes of RAM. I know it's got 8 cores, but they're like the big little core kind of setup. If I can bring open my app here. Hey, where'd it go? Supposed to have an app that shows that stuff. Anyway, let me see if I can find it and talk at the same time. CPU stats, there it is. So let's see how many cores we have here. 8, right? Yeah, 8 cores. I was checking to see if they were counting 1, 2 cores. Yeah, so they are all 8 cores there. And they're usually working hard. All right, you can see the frequency range there. Let's tip the camera over. Now if you can see the camera or the clock is base 900 with a boost of 23, and it's usually at 23. Like if I'm doing anything, if I'm doing anything more than this right here, you can see it hitting 2.3, just idling, just playing a small picture-in-picture. Now, like I was saying, it will upscale to 1080. So let me pop this back open here. And you notice that's in the tray up here now. That app is really cool. I'll have to put that in the link because it shows in here. You can. That's what I was saying. I was like looking for it. Where is it? It'll show core usage here, and it shows it also up here on the tray or whatever you want to call that. Trying to get the exposure right. Zoom back out. Find its focus. Find the screen. Why is it being a bugger? It's like there's something on the lens. Anyway, all day battery life, good quality screen. The speakers sound like, thin, but good. I mean, clear. It's fine. It's fine for watching YouTube. Dialogue is good. Let's see, we put a dialogue, something with dialogue. The CPU is kind of laggy sometimes. Like I was saying, it's always at 2 point. It's always hitting max on all cores. Like I have the 1080 video playing in the corner, and maybe I'm spoiled. It's my laptop and my desktop being powerhouses, and then this is not a powerhouse, but it was free basically, or $18. So of course I have to get a keyboard for it. I'm gonna talk about that for a second. I'll put the link in that below. It's also it's a case tablet combo, and it is on Amazon for what, $29 or something. Let me go to the link here. Yeah, it's like $35. There's a 5% coupon that's instant or something, so that drops it down a little more. Like I said, it's cheap and it had good reviews. So the way that works is it's got like a magnetic base, which will stick to this mat that you will stick the tablet into. I'll put the link if anyone wants to pick one of these up. The whole thing folds up nice and neat. You can fold it up, of course, with the keyboard inside. And usually I'll do that by pushing it up to the last notch. And it's really on there. When the magnets grab this thing, it doesn't move for sure. So if you put it into this framework, you can kind of see where it goes or where it should go. And then if you close it, it'll be square in here. Pretty square. You can see the keyboard is kind of just on the screen, face of the screen now. So I don't know if I'm going to need to get a screen protector to keep it from developing a line on the screen, which I've seen from other devices that have constant contact with something like that. But generally, I mean, I'm not that worried about it. This is my first tablet, and I already can tell that I have a desire to have a faster one. Not that there's, like I said, this is fine. I'm gonna probably keep this for playing around with for a while. Maybe retire it to somebody else as a gift or something. But no, it's great. You know, just keep it around for, leave it at work or whatever. But got this launcher that kind of resembles like a Linux. It is Linux, right? But I mean, I'm saying something like Manjaro or some kind of launcher. So on this, you got a dock on the side. I think kind of like latte dock or something like that. Kind of gives me that vibe. The icons, especially, kind of make me think Manjaro. That was the idea. I was looking for something that would look like that. And then if you swipe to the left, it brings open your launcher, which has a nice scroll bar on the side, which you can jump directly to letters just by pointing at them. Which, yeah, it's fast. Of course, you can bring open recent apps, and an on-screen keyboard would appear right now if I didn't have a keyboard connected. So it knows there's a keyboard connected. This is from Pimofee, Pimofee, I guess. I'm not sure what that is. So it does illuminate. The keyboard does illuminate, and you can cycle through different colors. Turn back on. It has 7 colors. You can adjust the brightness, 3 stages for brightness, and then off or cycle. I don't think you get any stages for brightness on the cycle. That wouldn't make too much sense, I guess. Maybe speed? Doesn't seem like it. But yeah, for 20, it was like, I think with a coupon, maybe I got it cheaper, but it's $35 right now, $34.99 before a 5% discount coupon thing. So I only saw it in one color. It said black. I guess this is black. In person, it looks more kind of, it's almost like a charcoal, kind of, not exactly black. The keyboard itself is sturdy. Actually, trying to do the twist test on it right now. Flex test. It'll flex, but it doesn't feel flimsy at all. It's super thin. Super thin. Super light. Not sure what the battery life on it's gonna be like yet, because we haven't had to charge it again. Haven't had it long enough. We'll see. I'll report back on that probably, I guess. But anyway, yeah, it does time out after a few minutes. Maybe it's like 30 seconds to a minute. It'll time out. But yeah, $35. It connects instantly. Like if you had the screen off, come back to it later. It actually, it's pretty dope. Look, let me do that again. I'm gonna turn the screen off over here. Okay. And then I believe it woke up just from me touching the space bar. It did. And then it unlocked with face recognition. I ain't worried about my mug. My mug's everywhere. People worry about that. Oh, face recognition. I'm like, you realize like when you go outside, when you go in public places, when you drive around in the city, there's your mug's everywhere already. Don't worry about it. But anyway, yeah, it's got the face recognition for unlock. It does not have any fingerprint scanner or anything like that, so it's super basic. It does have a headphone jack. It does have stereo speakers, left and right. As like I was saying earlier, they don't sound amazing. They're great for dialogue and basic, just basic loudness. I'd say they get as loud as a decent cell phone would. So it's pretty good. It's fine, unless you're in a very loud area. You're not going to get any bass out of them, so don't think that they're going to be amazing. They're just going to play music or whatever. I was going to put something on. And I'm not going to blast it. Maybe first. No, I'm not even joking. It's pretty loud. And it's late, so I'm not even going to do that. But it would probably get loud enough to wake somebody up right now if I turned it up all the way. And I'm in a 3-bedroom house right now. So somebody in another room would probably be annoyed if I turned that up all the way. So it is 1 in the morning. And I'm not the only one that lives here currently. So anyway, I'm definitely gonna get a faster machine now. I've always kind of wanted a small computer like this. I didn't think I'd want to do touch screen ever, but the combination for this form factor just feels pretty good. I like big cell phones. I always had big cell phones, so like I try to get the largest size available at any point in time. So apparently I think the screen's almost 7 inches, like it's 6.7, 6.9 inches, and it's a 10 or 16 by 10 ratio, I believe. So it's kind of long and narrow. Anyhow, I like this kind of screen size. So even in my laptops, I don't like to go over. I do not go over 15.6 inches. 15.6 is great for work. Like if I'm gonna be working spreadsheets, for example, I probably want to use that laptop or something with a longer screen, or a screen I can have in that format, since that kind of works better in Excel kind of programs, spreadsheet programs. I try to use this in OpenOffice. This is an example of how slow it is. I'm not going to open that, never mind. But point is, it's painfully slow by comparison to just using my laptop. You can do it, but there's some waiting involved. Like the app will open up fairly quickly, but scrolling is, this is smooth. Maybe it's just because it's some kind of port and it's not translating well to this platform. But my point is like you could do it, but you wouldn't want to do much or for long. I'll maybe use it to look at a sheet, but when you go to edit it, it's so painful. But if I had a faster machine, it wouldn't be painful, and it would actually maybe be better or more entertaining. I don't know. I was just thinking about it. I'm like, I'm probably not probably. I'm definitely gonna get something faster. But this is a cool starter. Got me into the idea. It runs real silky smooth until you try to do any kind of work on it, and you can see it's pegging out at. Just from doing this, it's just smashing 2300, hitting its max core, or its max, right? Oh yeah, there you go too. You can scroll down and get this. Some cool launchers in here. I don't remember how to get to the other. Yes, 3 gigabytes of RAM, 2 gigabytes internal storage, and the internal storage is slow. It is. It's not terrible. You don't feel it when you're using it. You don't feel how slow it is because like on my main computer, or even my laptop's got like 7,000 megabytes a second throughput. So this is like 20 or 53 or something. I stuck an internal card. Now this is the good news. It does take internal memory up to a terabyte. So right now there's a 256 in there. I'm looking for an app, a benchmark app. I think it's up at the top. And yeah, here, look, we're gonna turn the screen sideways. This doesn't translate. I won't tip over. I'll get focused. Alright, I think it's working out on this camera. I'll just read it. The camera doesn't want to focus on it. It did on the SD card, internal card, it did 238. I'm sorry, that was the whole file size. It did 83 megabytes on the read and 63 on the write. The internal card friggin' sucks. I feel like it should be faster than that. Cause the write speed, okay, so the read was, that's what it was. The read was okay, 175, but the write was 25. My internal card did 63. That's like almost 3 times better. And not really 3 times. You get me, it's significantly better. On a write, did 63 on the internal and 25 on. I'm sorry, on the external card it did 63, on the internal it did 25 on the right. That's not that great. The RAM, what did it do? It did 2,700 megabytes, almost 2783. So that's pretty good for the RAM. It's a shame, why not give me, at least 4? So that's always disappointing on these devices that they didn't just throw you that extra RAM, that extra gig. 4 would be probably more than enough, but 3 is just not quite. That's always kind of annoying to me on these entry-level devices. Like I said, I wasn't into tablets, but I'd always be looking for a cell phone with at least 4 gigabytes of RAM, because 3 just doesn't cut it. And that's the same problem on computers for like your laptops and stuff. And it's not really a problem now, but a few years ago I was like, man, they just need to stop with this 4 gigabytes of RAM. That's bare minimum for a phone or a tablet. It's probably fine, but on a laptop or a computer, you're gonna need just get 8 at minimum, and you should be fine for general use if you're doing some kind of heavy lifting. Maybe you need more, but you will know that based on the kind of work you do. If you're like most people using it for the internet, yeah, 8's fine. And you're not gonna have these transitional issues where stuff chops up because it can't get it pulled fast enough. Can't keep up. But yeah, no, this thing is great for the deal if you find it at the Metro stores, the Metro PCS stores. I think it was basically because I was getting a new phone line. I think that's the only thing that made it eligible for that. And maybe it's a promotional thing I just didn't know about. So it's a pleasant surprise, I guess. Yeah, it's great for that purpose. Just if you want to use it to watch videos and stuff. Alright, I'm gonna end the video. Go to sleep.